Hey everyone, so now we are ready with the final step of scheduling pins on Pinterest. Just to recap, the things we've done is first to set up your Pinterest account. The second step was to do keyword research on Pinterest, and you also created boards for your products. You then did keyword research on Pinterest. Then we created the actual pins using the Canva template. You would have spent maybe a bit of time in this piece and just customizing the template for your business. But once that's done, that's done. It's only a one-time setup, and then you created the pins. And then we spent a couple of minutes, in fact, it took less than a minute to actually get AI to generate the titles and pin descriptions using the keywords. And now we're going to upload all of it into Pinterest. So when you have a business account in Pinterest, this is the first page that you see, and you have the create pin option here, which you can use, or you can simply go to, let's say, go back to Pinterest and select this organic create pin, right? So it gives you this option where you can choose a file and all of this stuff here. And what we are going to do is take all of the pins that we created. Okay, so this is the one that was a blank. And then there's these 20 pins that I created. Just going to minimize this so that I can move it around a bit. Oh, right. Okay. So selecting all the pins. So these are the pins I created in Canva and I downloaded as a JPEG. You can see all of them have the same name and with a number, then that's fine. I'm just going to drag the whole lot into this create pin box here, right? Okay, so it says you can only upload 10 drafts at a time, which I am surprised at, but that's okay. I'm going to start with the 10 and let's see. I think that would have been the first 10. Yeah. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? Yeah. So I'm just going to drag another 10 and that's it. Yeah. And so you can see that it has all of the 20 pin drafts here. The first thing we want to do is link to the not all text. Oh, here's a link, right? So select this. Okay, it's going to let me only work with. Okay, so select all, right? And then click on this small link, a small edit icon. I'm not editing the boards now. What I am going to add is a link to my product. And let me just quickly go to. Right, so I just went back to my shop and grab the link to the desk name tags PLR templates, and I'm just going to paste it here, right? Actually, this is for the discount code. So just give me a minute. Okay. Thank you for your patience. So I have the correct link now and that applies to everything. So I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not editing anything else. I'm just going to say update. So they've all got the link, right? I'm not publishing anything yet. I'm just going to leave it there. Now the next thing is the title description and the board. These are the things that you're going to be updating before we publish, right? Or schedule. So I'm going to select, let's say, 2 of these at random. Click on edit and we go back to the first variation and right? And that works for both, right? So I think I'm going to leave them with multiple boards. I don't want to use the same tag, same description, and the same board for two different pins. So I'm going to just leave them there, right? And that's two of them done. Now let's pick another two at random. And I'm going to do the same with variation 2. So there's classroom decor, elementary, right? And then we say description. And again, I'm not selecting a board because I want them to have different boards. So we got a couple of these with the tags and descriptions done. So there's one, two. You can see here which ones have tags, which ones have descriptions and titles, and which ones don't. So we'll just select another two. So we have a few to work with, right? So, right, update. So that's it really. So I've got 6 of these with name tags. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind. You can only schedule up to 30 days in advance. And I realized just now that, it also says you can only upload 10 pins at a time, which was not the case previously. So you might have to do this in batches, but you can only do it for 30 days at a time. What you can do is schedule for 30 days, and then you can kind of edit the schedule. Say next week, you can go in and edit the schedule and kind of stretch it out for another week after that, right? So here's what I'm going to do. I have the first two that have different titles and descriptions, and I'm going to select those two and edit. And I'm not editing the title and description, but I might consider editing the boards. So I'm going to say PLR for bloggers. I'm going to leave it there, right? Um, same way for, oops, same way for the next two. Just need to check. So this is desk name tags. This is classroom decor. Okay. Or maybe I'll take one of these, right? And same way, just put them, you can leave them with multiple boards, that is fine. But you can also kind of go in and edit the boards and make sure that, these boards are not the same. Yes. So I think I'm going to leave these with multiple boards as well, right? So now I'm going to select the ones that have the titles and tags, and I will go back in and add titles and tags for all of the others and the boards. But for now, just to show you how it's done, I've selected all the ones that I added the titles and tags to, and I'm going to select edit. Oh, it's not letting me actually schedule in bulk. That's okay. So we've got 10 now, and I'm going to select publish at a later date, and I'm going to just select tomorrow 12 p.m. is fine. Was this AI modified? It wasn't, so I'm just going to leave it there and say scheduled, right? So that's scheduled. And then this one, I'm going to say published at a later date for the day after, or maybe even the week after, and just schedule it. Um, so the same thing here, publish at a later date. You can select a different time, but it's okay. I mean, it's fine either way. So we're just looking for it says you can't make any changes. You can edit information like titles and tags, but you can actually delete it as well. So if you don't like the schedule, you can just go in and delete what you have scheduled, right? So here it gets interesting because as you can see, the last date that it lets me schedule is July 10th. Doesn't let me schedule any dates after that. So I'm just going to select July 10th and I'm going to schedule it anyway. And I've still got one that hasn't been added. And I'm going to come here, publish the later date, and I'm just going to pick some date at random, right? So that's it really. So this is how I was creating and scheduling pins for a very, very long time before I started using block to pin, and it works very well. There's no reason why you can't do it. So now you can see that all the ones that are pending in drafts, these are all, the ones that don't have a title or a description attached to them. The same thing that we did, we select any two, give it the same title and tag, and they all have the links attached to them, so that part is done. But we work through the remaining titles and tags for the rest of the pins and then schedule them across different days, right? And the other thing to remember is that, if you can change the schedule out, if you can stretch it out a bit, that's great. But if you can't do it, or if you are forced to put them all, into 1 month or something, into a 30-day period, just put them in with different boards, different titles and tags, and that's okay. Not all of your pins are going to be successful. You're not being a spammer when you kind of, dump it all the same date, same time, same board, and same content. You're not doing that. You are adding some variation, and Pinterest likes it when you kind of give people different options to find your content. So even if the link is the same, pretty much everything else is different, and so it's perfectly fine to do it this way and kind of work with it. And yes, tools like Tailwind or Block to Pin, they give you the option to kind of schedule for a much longer duration. So you don't have to just schedule for 30 days. You can schedule out to 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, etc. And that's one reason I use Block to Pin instead of this. But if you don't want to use a tool, this is how to do it directly on Pinterest, right? So I hope this has been helpful as you work through this. If you face any questions or any kind of issues, just send me a note, or just catch me in the Facebook group and we'll sort it out, right? Thanks so much and bye bye.